Imagine if simply taking off your shoes and walking barefoot on the dirt could instantly neutralize the biochemical fires burning inside your body. It sounds like a ridiculous placebo, a piece of ancient folklore that modern medicine left behind. But clinical research reveals a biological miracle that you are completely ignoring. Right now, the rubber shoes you are wearing are silently destroying your health from the ground up. You are constantly sick, you are tired, and your joints ache with inflammation. But the horrific truth is, it is not just your diet or your sleep schedule. You have literally disconnected yourself from the earth, and your cells are paying the ultimate price. For millions of years, our ancestors walked, slept, and hunted in direct physical contact with the surface of the planet. Their bare skin was constantly touching the soil, the grass, and the sand. But today, we live in a synthetic bubble. We wear rubber-soled shoes, we sleep on elevated beds in insulated houses, and we walk on asphalt or carpet. The billion-dollar footwear industry has engineered the perfect trap, selling us comfort and style while refusing to tell you the catastrophic biological consequences of this disconnection. You are blindly walking through life in a rubber prison. To understand this ruthless truth, we have to look at the human body not just as a machine of flesh and blood, but as a complex electrical system. Every single biochemical reaction in your body, every heartbeat, every thought that fires across your neural pathways is an electrical event. And just like any electrical system, your body needs to be grounded to function properly. When you go about your day in the modern world, you are bombarded by electromagnetic fields, stress, pollution, and processed foods. All of these factors create a massive accumulation of positive charges in your body, specifically in the form of free radicals. Free radicals are highly reactive molecules that are missing an electron. Because they are unstable, they violently roam through your bloodstream and tissues, frantically trying to steal electrons from your healthy cells. When they tear an electron away from a healthy cell, they damage its structural integrity, breaking down your physiological barrier. This process is called oxidative stress, and it is the exact mechanism that causes chronic inflammation, accelerates aging, and triggers almost every modern disease you can think of. It does not stop there. What happens when these positive charges have nowhere to go? Because you are wearing rubber shoes, which are absolute insulators, you are completely blocking these dangerous charges from leaving your body. The free radicals keep multiplying, creating a chronic cellular fire that never goes out. Your immune system goes into a state of panic, constantly fighting a war it cannot win, because the electrical pressure is simply too high. You take supplements, you eat organic vegetables, and you drink detox juices, hoping to put out the fire. But as long as you remain ungrounded, you are just pouring a glass of water onto a burning house. The electrical tension builds up, disrupting your circadian rhythm, elevating your cortisol levels, and leaving you in a state of perpetual exhaustion. Now, imagine a simple, completely free solution that fundamentally changes this entire dynamic at the cellular level. Here is the craziest part. The cure is literally right under your feet. The surface of the Earth is a massive, endlessly renewable battery. Because of global lightning strikes and solar radiation, the planet is negatively charged. It contains an infinite supply of free electrons. These are not just any electrons, they are nature's most potent antioxidants. When you take off your shoes and place your bare feet on the soil, the sand, or the wet grass, a profound quantum exchange takes place instantly. Your body, which is highly conductive because it is mostly water and minerals, immediately absorbs these free electrons from the ground. They flood into your system, traveling through your meridian lines and your nervous system at the speed of light. And because they carry a negative charge, they seek out and bind to the positively charged free radicals that have been destroying your cells. The moment this connection is made, the free radicals are neutralized. They are instantly pacified and the biochemical fire is smothered out. But the clinical truth goes even deeper. When this massive influx of negative electrons neutralizes the oxidative stress, your body does not just stop deteriorating, it actively begins to reverse the damage. In other words, you trigger an immediate biological miracle. Once the electrical pressure is lifted, your lymphatic system is finally unlocked. Your lymphatic system is the ultimate cleanup machine of your body. It is a complex network of vessels and nodes that flushes out toxins, dead cells, and metabolic waste. But when you are chronically inflamed and ungrounded, this system becomes stagnant. It is like a clogged drain in a flooded house. The moment you reconnect with the earth, your blood viscosity actually changes. Clinical research using dark field microscopy has shown that within minutes of grounding, your red blood cells stop clumping together. They repel each other perfectly, flowing freely and delivering oxygen to your starving tissues. This is a profound biochemical reaction at the cellular level. As your blood flows properly, your lymphatic system wakes up. It begins to drain the stagnant fluid, sweeping away the cellular debris that has been suffocating your organs. This is not a temporary fix or a superficial trick. This is healing at the root. You are literally resetting your entire physiology back to its gold standard. Let us look at what happens to your sleep when you finally ground your body. When you are disconnected, your cortisol levels, which form your primary stress hormone profile, are completely dysregulated. You experience unnatural spikes at night, which prevents your brain from entering deep, restorative sleep. But the horrific truth is, this lack of deep sleep prevents the lymphatic system in your brain from flushing out dangerous neurotoxins. When you walk barefoot on the earth, the influx of electrons naturally synchronizes your circadian rhythm with the electrical frequency of the planet. Your cortisol levels flatten out at night. You fall into a profound, healing sleep. Your brain finally gets the chance to wash away the toxic proteins that cause cognitive decline. This is how you revive your mind. Furthermore, the constant barrage of positive ions from artificial environments is constantly irritating your gut microbiome. When you ground yourself, you soothe the vagus nerve, which directly communicates with your digestive system. You are not just lowering inflammation, you are actively rescuing the trillions of beneficial bacteria that manufacture your serotonin. You are rebuilding your physiological barrier from the inside out. When I first heard about grounding, I thought I was blindly falling for a pseudoscientific scam. I was exhausted, dealing with chronic brain fog, and desperately buying expensive supplements that the wellness industry convinced me I needed. I thought walking barefoot was just a placebo for people who wanted to feel close to nature. But out of pure desperation, I took off my shoes and stood in the wet grass for 20 minutes. The science did not lie. I felt a subtle, almost imperceptible shift in my nervous system. My breathing deepened. The anxiety that had been buzzing in my chest like a trapped insect suddenly went quiet. My body was finally discharging the toxic electrical buildup that I had been carrying for years. It was a biological awakening. The trillion-dollar medical and pharmaceutical industries want you to believe that healing must come from a pill, a complex therapy, or a synthetic chemical. They are hiding the fact that your body has a built-in mechanism to repair itself, and the only trigger it needs is the natural electrical charge of the earth. By keeping you in rubber shoes, living in insulated boxes, and constantly exposed to artificial frequencies, they ensure that your cellular fire never goes out. You become a lifelong patient, completely blind to the fact that the most powerful anti-inflammatory medicine in the world is right beneath your feet, waiting for you to simply step on it. This is the silent destroyer of modern civilization. We have severed our biological umbilical cord to the planet. We are like batteries that have been unplugged from their charger, slowly draining our life force until our systems completely shut down. The clinical evidence is overwhelming. Grounding reduces cortisol levels, shifts the autonomic nervous system from a sympathetic state of panic into a parasympathetic state of peace, and accelerates cellular repair. It is a total systemic revival. So, what are you going to do right now? Are you going to keep wearing those rubber prisons, trapping the inflammatory fire inside your cells? Or are you going to step outside and reclaim your health? You do not need to move to a forest or abandon modern life. All it takes is 20 minutes a day of direct contact with the earth. Walk on the beach, stand in the dirt, or sit on the grass. Let the negative electrons flood your system. Let your ultimate cleanup machine wash away the toxic buildup. Reconnect with the source and take your power back. If you found this information eye-opening, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the hidden science of your body.